you ever wondered why you might be struggling to sell your program? Well, I know a lot of coaches out there that may be struggling to sell their program, and it's not for a lack of trying. But today what I'm going to do is share with you probably the reason why a lot of you are struggling to sell your program, because it's the way in which you sell it. So hang on in as we get stuck into today as I share with you the 3 Ps. Yeah, that's 3 Ps that will help you to really sell your program. You see, a lot of people think that they should be trying to sell their program. And you're confusing your program with your offer, right? You know, people don't actually want to buy your program. The program is actually the process in which you take people through, but that's not why people buy. People buy because of the outcome. So for example, say you wanted to lose weight, right? The program might be go to the gym, work out, all the hard things, right? People want the outcome to fit into that summer swimsuit, right? They don't necessarily really want all the things that they have to do to get to the outcome. And what so many people are doing is trying to sell the program. Now, when I say sell your program, you're telling them you get all of these things like cheat sheets, PDFs, 2 hours with me every week, all the stuff, all the deliverables, but that is not what you should be spending your time doing. So I'm going to head on over to my whiteboard, and if you're listening to this on the podcast and you would like to see the whiteboard, then you can go and catch the replay of this on YouTube. That's where we live stream every single week. So let's head on over to the whiteboard and look at the 3 major Ps when it comes to when you are creating your actual offer. And your offer is not your program. It's part of it, but your offer is actually made up of 3 things. So the first thing in your program is what you know as your program, or we could call it your process. Now, we're very confident. So what a lot of people have when they're trying to sell as a coach, your process, or another word for it could be your signature method, the step-by-step process, the deliverables, the content that you give people to get to the outcome. So your process is that signature method, right? What are the step-by-step process that you take them through? Or also your content. So all the content that you put online or inside of your course. But people don't want to buy the process. They want the outcome. So when it comes to the process, many of you really have a lot of you've got a lot of confidence, right, in explaining what it is that you do, right? You're highly confident in explaining, hey, I'm going to give you 2 coaching sessions a week, and we're going to give you some PDF downloadables, some cheat sheets, some workbooks, an online app, all the content. And you're very confident in telling people the how, the thing you do, okay? But that is not what sells your program. The other 2 Ps is the package, okay? How are you going to actually package up your program, and also the promise that you will deliver? So when we talk about the promise, that is the outcome that you're going to give. Now, these 2 things, the package and the promise, these should make up 100% of your marketing. But what so many people are doing is they're trying to sell this, the process. And your potential customers don't want the process, they want the package and the promise. So under the package area, what they want to know is what is the what is it going to cost? So the price point is in the package. How long is it going to take? The time frame to get to the result. And if you've got any bonuses, tactical bonuses, scarcity, all those types of things all go into the packaging of your program. And the promise is the result. Or as another way, as like I always say, the bright, big, beautiful day, the benefit of going through your program. This is what people buy. They know what it's going to cost them, how long it's going to take them, and what is the result that they're going to get at the end. This is why people buy. They don't want to do all the workouts, right? They don't want to build the sales and marketing funnel. They don't want to have to learn how to read their numbers. They don't want that, but they do want to run a business. They do want to run a successful business. So, for example, in our program, I could tell you all the steps that we take you through, but when it comes to the big, bright, beautiful promise, we help you to design a high-ticket offer that attracts raving fans that want and need your help. That is so much better than telling you you've got to create your vision, your offer, your live event, build the tech. That sounds like hard work, right? Well, most amazing results do come with hard work. But when you're creating your marketing plan, you should be thinking about the outcome that you get people to. So what does the outcome look like? Well, I want you to think about, where are your people? Okay, so down here, they've got some kind of problem. I always say they're kind of standing under this rain cloud, right? And they're struggling with whatever it is that you help them with, whether it's training a puppy or being able to cook simple but healthy meals, whether it is helping people overcome grief or work through their own grief. And you have the answer down here, which is the big, bright, beautiful day, which is from the A to the Z, the big, bright, beautiful day. And you've got all of the answers. And your program takes you through that step by step. That's your signature method. Okay, the steps you take people through to get them to the result. Now, so many people are down this end going, hey, check me out. I've got all of these results. It's so easy. You've just got to do this, and hey, big, bright, beautiful day, you have your problem solved. So they're constantly telling them of all the steps they have to do. But they forget that what it was like when they may have been down at that other end, and what happens when you start working your way and you hit a roadblock, you get stuck. What are you going to do when you get stuck? Come on, let me know in the chat. Don't be shy. What are you going to do when you get stuck? Yes, you're going to give up. Exactly. You procrastinate. You start to make excuses. That's a great one. Yeah. So what I want you to start to do is, as you're trying to build out your promise, the promise of the outcome, rather than standing over in the big, bright, beautiful, sunshiny day and yelling at your people, I want you to walk over to them and I want you to stand beside them and I want you to start to listen to what they need. You're going to pitch an umbrella, stand next to them and start to listen to what it is that they need. By listening more than you speak, you will discover the promise. Now, that doesn't mean I don't want you to write your promise today. Your promise will evolve. Your program will evolve as you evolve alongside your clients. You see, as you have developed your program, You've figured out the step-by-step system. What you've also done is you've done it your way. But as you work with your clients, eventually they're going to point out things that you didn't even consider. They're going to get stuck in places you didn't even know that they would get stuck in. And this is why our program and our promise will evolve over time. But when you're thinking about putting your marketing strategy together to create an irresistible offer, I want you to remember that your offer is not your program. People actually don't want to buy your program. They want to buy the promise, the result, the outcome. They want to know what is the bright, beautiful benefits once they go through the program. That is what they are buying. So next time you're putting your marketing strategy together, I want you to put yourself in your client's shoes. I want you to think about all the struggles that they've said that where they've gotten stuck. And I want you to build your promise around that. We actually use a phrase here inside the Sparkle world, which is if they don't say it, neither do we. We tend to get stuck in our own lingo in the way in which we speak, especially if we're in a certain industry. Say you're in the coaching space, in the mindset space, and you use the words like limiting beliefs. Sometimes our clients don't actually know what a limiting belief is. Now, I know most of you are coaches and you probably know what a limiting belief is. But if somebody is coming into you, maybe they've, lost a child, or maybe they're, gone through some kind of trauma, maybe they've got PTSD from, being in service. So there are lots of other reasons why people come to you and they aren't actually aware that they've got limiting beliefs that are holding themselves back. So it's really important that when you are creating your irresistible offer, yes, you need a strategy, you need your signature method, but also you need to package it up so it's sexy, and you need a promise of the result. What is the outcome they will get after working with you? Make sure you get at least one income producing activity done each and every day, and never let anyone dull your sparkle. And I will see you same time next week on the live. Bye for now.